Yo, 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 it's Ron from the 650, and this is the 65 show. I have the pleasure of interviewing today Isaiah Mustafa out of Berkeley, California.
Sir.
Um, Residing in NY right now. He's taken a couple trips in his
Sir.
lifetime, but he's here today at the 65 show. How you doing today, man?
Man, I feel blessed, bro. I feel super, super duper grateful just to wake up on another day. It's a little gloomy outside, but I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling the love.
Yeah, yeah. Love's all around us. Love's all around us. I'm in my Niners beanie today, and we had a conversation a little bit earlier that I won't disclose.
Mm-hmm.
But sad things happened last night to the Niners. But we live and we learn. We live and we learn. You're under the pseudonym, just to get straight into it, or you like to classify yourself as an artist as music to stretch to. I enjoy stretching, but if somebody doesn't enjoy stretching every day or occasionally, how would you describe your art to them?
I think that recently I heard I've been actually looking for more ways to describe my music because I feel like I make so many different kinds of songs. Like I look up to artists who really have their like niche one style, but also anytime that I've tried to kind of be just like this one aspect of myself, I feel really boxed in. And so recently I heard the term genre agnostic, which was hard to me. I was like, ugh. Also, I'm really on some California progressive ass like non-monogamous polygamy shit
Yeah,
too. And so I feel like maybe like genre slut, like I'm a genre fucking poly. I don't know, like I'm figuring it out, but like I think there's a good balance of like super sultry harmony layers, like very like R&B, like 90s early 2K R&B in there, but then there's also like hip hop, like real ass hip hop, kind of more gritty, and then there's a lot of shit in between. Like there's some trap R&B shit more. There's some like just acapella, like fucking kind of more gospel inspired stuff, but definitely very soulful music.
very soulful, very soulful. I like genre slut. I think you never know
I'm
what
a
you're gonna
genre
get.
slut. I think that's yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's I think that's ultimately where I'm at,
yeah, polygenreness or something, whatever,
bruh.
something like that.
That's what I was doing the other day. I was morphing the words and trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's dope. That's dope. I mean,
we'll figure it out.
yeah, I when I kind of think of your music, I kind of think of someone again like you kind of said who has that deep bag, and so it's like it's hard to put them in a box or a label
Right,
because they could release one song and it might be a hip hop style. You might be like super rapping on it, and then the next song might be more singing or more
right.
soulful singing, or like you might get into R&B versus soul, or it might get into some all R&B or whatever. The bag is deep, right? So and you get to kind of experiment that with things that you do in terms of releasing the music. Like we're on this part two of the 37 straight weeks of new music challenge.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's crazy in itself. But by the time this interview drops, it most likely will be week 7. Um,
Mm.
so everybody's kind of familiar with Russ doing the 52 weeks of straight something. Where did you kind of get
Right.
the inspiration or the idea to do that from?
Honestly, bro, when I first did it, I did it starting it was like through right when the pandemic, like maybe 5 months into the pandemic or something. I had moved to Hawaii. I had gotten invited to move out there because I had gone on tour out there like a few months before the pandemic had started. And so I moved out there. I was offered like a spot to stay for free, and bro was just like, let's just do martial arts. You can live in my house for free. We'll learn how to grow food and make music. And I was like, yeah, I'm living in my grandma's attic. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. So I moved out there, and after a while, it was just like the world was going crazy, bro. And I really didn't want to just get like lost in the sauce in Hawaii. And like it's cool over there for sure, but like it's also like a lot of like settler colonialist gentrification kind of vibes over there, where you have the majority of like, or at least what it looks like is the majority of the indigenous folks are kind of more going through it, and then you got a lot of people who are like transplants moving in, and just only fucking with each other and living this certain life that's just kind of like kind of cringy, you know. And so the community wasn't super like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love all these people, like this is dope, you know. And so I have already grown a very strong connection to my community in Berkeley and Oakland and Frisco, and so I like wanted to stay connected, you know. And also I had all these songs that were like little starts, little bits and pieces of shit, and I just wasn't finishing them. And then one night I was plugged up to the Bluetooth speaker. My boys were there, who like had moved from the Bay to come be out there with me and the homies. And yeah, I was playing these songs, and they were like, bruh, like they knew these songs, right? Because I play them all the time, and they've heard them, and they fuck with me and support me. And they're like, bro, this is my shit. Like, when are you dropping this one? And I'm like, probably never, bro. And he was like, why? And I was like, man, there's something about all these songs that I hate. And he was just like, just fix that part, you know? And then put it on the other side of the phone. My boy Tofu was like, put it on the other side of the phone. Right now it's only on your phone, you know? And I was like, that's real. And then one night I like stayed up and I just kind of got inspired. I hadn't been on social media in like months, bro. And so I got inspired, and I was like, bro, take my phone, take this video of me real quick. And my boy like started recording, and he was like, I got in front of it. I was like, I'm done sleeping on myself. I'm done just waiting around. I'm dropping a new song every week for the rest of my life. And then, and then I posted it, and then it got hella like more engagement than anything because I hadn't posted in months. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, for the rest of my life, that's a big ass commitment. Fuck. And then I was like, I'm like 37 weeks. 37 is like my angel number. It's my number. And so I was like, let's start there, 37 weeks. And it was about to be the year anniversary of when I dropped my first album, Lips. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to do something special or drop something, you know, do something special on that day. And so I started the 37-week challenge on that day. And it became way more fruitful than I could have even imagined. You know, it led to a lot. And I've high-key wanted to do it again since it stopped. And then I was just like, I kind of wanted to have these certain things in order. Like, okay, let me have this person locked in and more of a team. And then at a certain point, I was just like, man, fuck it. Let me just do this right now. But now I do have more of a team developed around it, which is really great.
Nah, that's dope. That's super dope. That's funny for the rest of your life. That energy kind of like takes you sometimes.
I know. That post-nut clarity damn near. I was like, whoa, wait.
I can do anything. I can be anything. You know, I feel like, yeah. No, that's kind of like the blessing and the curse. You know, I have a lot of friends and partners, like business partners who are artists. And I'm always hearing new music that might eventually be new, but I've been hearing it for like, you know, a year and a half, 2 years now. I'm like, this is a classic.
Right.
Like, this is a classic, and it hasn't left the hard drive. Like, if I hear it one more damn time, like, me and you were fighting. Cause
straight up.
There's no reason why everybody else should be listening to this. So I get you when you say, like, oh, like, these are songs they've been hearing, you know, for months now. It's just...
And most of the time, artists just get caught up in that, at that hump of perfection. Yeah. It doesn't have to do, especially with independent artists, like, it doesn't have to do with, like, the labels holding the music back. And this thing, it's like, we're holding ourselves back from just, like, letting it out of our phone because our insecurities or our perception of ourselves, or maybe we have already listened to that song 1,000 times at this point, so now we don't even resonate and, like, doesn't even feel like a reflection of us anymore, you know? And it's like, that could be someone's shit right now, but we've already like played it out for ourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that shit it's depriving motherfuckers of something, you know, that we felt in that moment.
Great art, yeah. So I mean, if you're hearing this and you're an independent artist, let that shit go. Work on it, obviously. Try to make it as best you can, but you're never gonna hit that perfect feeling. So let that shit go sometimes. Let that shit go. You mentioned it, so we'll dive into a little bit of some light numerology. I'm not a numerologist, I would consider myself, but there's sometimes there are a couple numbers, if I see them, you know, I feel like I'm going the right way, right? So
hell yeah.
I was doing a little bit of light research into the first challenge that you did in 2020 into 2021. Yeah. And I realized that all of those 37 songs, the length of the 37 songs that you added to the playlist, add up to 2 hours and 12 minutes. 2
Whoa.
hours and 12 minutes is February 12th in my eyes. That's how I see it. Which would be
That's
today.
today?
Yep. Yep.
Bro, what the fuck?
Which is also my birthday. So I'm like, oh, anytime I see those
Today's
numbers,
your birthday?
today is my birthday, yeah. But anytime.
Bro. HAPPYBIRTHDAY, it's your birthday. 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 HAPPYBIRTHDAY. Bro, you're fucking ill for doing this shit on your birthday. Like, this is what you want to do. Like, this is really your passion and your purpose. You're like, nah, bro. I know what I want to do on my birthday. That's fly, bro. I'm honored to be here for your birthday and to get to meet you on your birthday. You feel me? And also the fact that divinely happened 2:12. I didn't even know that shit's 2 hours and 12 minutes. And then boom, you tell me that. Happy birthday, man.
I appreciate you. You know, when I saw that, I was like, anytime I see that number and another number, I'm like, oh, I'm moving in the right direction. You know, like there's something about this. I'm not super big. Yeah, I'm not super big on like, I guess, coincidences. But when I see those numbers, I'm like, all right, this is fate, or this is something divine, right? This is something outside of the universe or my control that the universe is just doing, right? So I'm glad you brought up the 37. So why don't you talk about a little bit about how 37 is your angel number and why you chose that number specifically?
It's been the number that's followed me around for the longest. It's been, and also like when I tell people about it too, it starts to like follow them around too. And it's always just been that number for me that like, if say I'm stealing some food from Safeway, but I really got food at the crib and I'm just high and I just fucking want a Milky Way, right? Like, then, and I see a 37, I'm about to get caught up. Like, I need to put that shit down and cut. But if I'm like at some fucking event and I see that person who I really been wanting to connect with, and I'm kind of scared though because they're kind of on some like another level, and I see that 37, it's like, bro, you better go talk to them. You know what I mean? It's kind of that affirming number, and it just affirms whatever my subconscious is already kind of feeling in that moment. And yeah, so that's really what it's been. And then it was already following me around for years. I've had situations where I meet people and it follows them too, and we're already connecting on some whole shit, and I'm just like, what? And then I fucking did my numerology one day, and my shit goes down to 37. It's crazy, bro. My birthday is January 19th, 1997, and fucking when you add that shit together, it equals 37. My life path number is 1. So like 37 goes to 10, goes to 1 is how numerology works, I guess. I don't know. But bottom line, that shit was already following me around for hella long before I even knew that. And so that shit was just like, okay, like, for sure, this is real. You know what I mean?
So when we were making the post and you're like, for the rest of my life, I'm dropping a new song. Right. And you actually had to come to the grips with like, okay, maybe not the rest of my life, but maybe I could choose a number. Right. It was 37 straight weeks.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
It's just dope now that you've gotten this experience the first time round. So now you can just be like, this is me. This is what I understand. I have a team around this. I know what it takes, and I know how I'm going to get there. Specifically when it comes to there, I know you said you moved to Hawaii for a year, but now you're in New York, Brooklyn to be exact, right?
Yes, sir. Crown Heights, baby.
Okay. Yeah. What was that move like? What inspired that?
Okay. I'm a woo bitch for real. All right. Let's put that on the line right now because we talk about numerology, we talk about all these things. To tell you really how I ended up here, it's some woo shit. So basically, what happened? I got hit up to do a show in Brooklyn. I was broke. I was not necessarily like, I was like, I don't know if I could really get that flight or if I should put the money towards that flight right now. Then that same day, I guess I can rewind a little bit. I've got this dude who's given me tarot readings for years, right? My boy Senor Gigio. He's also an incredible MC. This man gave me, at first I didn't even believe in tarot readings, right? But then he gave me one that had me drop my first album. He gave me one. He gave me the one that had me move to Hawaii. He gave me the one that had me go to Egypt for the first time, where my family's from, that I had never been. Right? He gave me all these readings, and I hadn't talked to him in months when I got hit up for that Brooklyn show. He calls me the same day that I get hit up, and is like, "Bro, I had this dream, and I was telling you should move to New York." And I was like, "Bro, I just got hit up to do a show out there today," and he was like, "Do it, do it, do it, do it." And so I was like, what the fuck? Okay. So I that affirmed me enough to be like, let me buy the ticket. Bought the ticket, go do the show. At the club, my first night in Brooklyn, I'm there, DJ's DJing, playing like a kind of like a house set. It's fire. And then my song comes on, right? And I was like, oh, what? Thank you to one of my friends. I was like, thanks for telling the fucking DJ to play my shit. Like, that's super dope. She was like, I didn't say nothing. I was like, what? Go up to the DJ. I'm like, that song that you just played. No, bro. And then I was like, where'd you find that song? She was like, oh, it's just been popping up on my Spotify all week. Like, I just been listening to it hella much. I'm like, that's my song. She's like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? It's my first night in Brooklyn, bro. And so I was like, yeah, bet. Like, I'm going back to the Bay, stacking up some bread, moving out here. And I had just bought a car. This is the first time I had bought a car that wasn't a hoopty, right? Like, I've always bought just like a little 2G, 3Gs, something, you know, something smooth. But my grandma kept being like, get you something from the lot. You got to get you something with a warranty, right? And so, shouts out Tata for real. And then so I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then I finally did it, right? And so this was the only time I'd ever had a car that I was like, I could drive this across the country, bro. I could do it. And so I went over there, stacked up some G's, and then I drove my ass to Brooklyn, man, with no plan on where I was going to stay. And it worked out.
That's crazy. I applaud you for, if nothing else,
thank you, man,
taking the leap. You know, believing in yourself to know that it's gonna work out, because I given myself no option for it not to work out, so I'm gonna make it work out. I believe. Yeah. I've gotten the signs, and now we're at least like 6 or 7 months removed from that, and you're in a space where you're like, okay, I'm comfortable, but I'm still making moves.
Right.
I'm comfortable and I'm still making moves. One of the last questions I wanted to ask you, another big move. Well, I guess big in some sense, different, I'll say. In some sense, you've always been Isaiah with the hair.
Right.
But you decided to chop it off.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? I'm guessing I'm picking up on the fact that you don't do things that are random. You're not just like, I'm gonna do things that are random.
I mean, yeah, if the sign says it, you know, but like, I think I had started getting to this point where I was just questioning cutting it off, you know. Mm-hmm. I've had different people, there was a lot, you know. Hair holds a lot of energy, you know, and I had that hair for a while, and I just started questioning it. And then once I started getting insecure and scared, and I started to realize that my ego was involved, and that I was like thinking about other people's perception on me changing, and that was keeping me from cutting my hair. And like, once I realized that my ego was scared of what other people thought, I was just like, fuck this. Like, and my friend had also been like, when I was just talking to her about kind of like my back and forth mindset on it, she was like, you're an artist. Like, anything that you do based on what you think other people are going to think of you is always going to come off as inauthentic. But anything that you do for you first is always going to be received well, you know? And that shit hella stuck with me. And then I flew out to the Bay to do a show at the Academy of Science, and I was super juiced on it. And then within like 4 hours, like, I was there, I was with my sister, Marika Sage. She's incredible. I was with her and was just talking about it, and she had been on some like wanting me to cut my hair vibe for a minute already, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going back and forth, and she was just like, should we do it right now? Let's just fucking do it right now. And I was just like, no. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And then so yeah, we just fucking cut all my hair off in that moment, and I went all or nothing, bro. We shaved that shit all the way off, you know. And it was funny because I had braids right before, And so I had a part in the middle and a part right here and a part right here that just wouldn't go away. Like, we cut that shit off, and I just looked like Avatar Aang for like a minute. Like, my shit was just different. It was like an ego death for real. And
Yeah.
and then I've had to, like, then it does a lot to an artist, because now it's like, okay, well, people got to fuck with me for me, right? Like, and it's not like people were solely fucking with me because of my hair anyway. It's just kind of this thing that we can hide behind. And I didn't realize I was hiding behind my hair, And now, yeah, it was definitely a liberating journey. I definitely wasn't like, I'm gonna have my hair like fucking buzz cut forever. I just kind of needed to go all or nothing, just like hard reset type shit. And yeah, man, it's been a cool journey, and especially being out here in New York, it's like people. I think my hair was probably more of a, it made me stand out more, right? Like, now I kind of just look more average a little bit, like more of an average Joe. But then it puts more on like, well, what am I doing? What am I saying? Who am I? You know what I mean? Rather than just like on the surface, more depth, and pushes me to like tap in with that depth more,
That's deep. That's deep. I think about ego a lot in terms of when I think of letting anybody besides myself like excite my ego. Like, somebody might say something and I might not take it the best way possible. And I'll have to think, and I'll be like, did that person, this is just a recent like phenomenon I've been going through the last couple months, did that person excite my ego? My self-awareness of the fact that somebody else is putting their experience or perspective on me in a negative way, or I'm taking it in a negative way, and it's exciting me. And so when you said the whole thing about, oh, like maybe my hair is holding me back, or maybe like, I'm attached to this thing that is me but isn't all of me, right? Isn't my whole experience. It's just a small part of what I am to offer. Like, I thought a lot, just you realizing that you're not getting tied up and you're not letting your ego hold you back.
Right. We gotta check that shit.
I thought that was really dope. Yeah, I thought that was really dope. But I'd like to thank you for coming on.
Thank you, man.
No, those are all the questions that I had for you today. I'd like to give you this opportunity to, talk to the people, let them know what you got coming out. They know about the 37-week challenge, but you wanna plug that, go ahead. This is your time, Isaiah.
Man, I would really just say, please, if you take anything from this moment, this interview, from me, just being exposed to my voice, my name, my music, anything that has to do with me, just like, I want you to really tap in with your purpose and do what you really feel. Take the risk, like, take the risk and keep shooting. I think the main thing, people will come up to me at this point and be like, man, you don't miss. And I'm like, no, I definitely do. I just keep shooting, And I think that there's a lot more of ourselves to find, and there's so much distractions to get us to just compare ourselves and to be super caught up in just like the collective ego and to settle down. I think as we grow older, there's like, think about when we're little kids, everybody's dreamers, right? Everybody's dreaming. Yeah. We're all imaginative. We're all just like, thinking huge. And as we get older, more people start to fall off, right? And like when we move at like a collective like frequency, right? Like I just turned 27 years old, right? And so everybody who's 27 is kind of on this 27 plane right here with me, right? And by the time you get to 50, 60, right? Most people have settled, have given up on their dreams, and are just doing what society says that they should do in order to survive, right? And so it becomes harder and harder every day, more pressure every day to really hold on to your dreams and to really live the life that you want to live, and like to get what you desire. And I feel like I am a living testament and an example of like, it could work. Like, it works. If you just bet it all on yourself, like, worst case scenario, we die. it's already gonna happen anyway, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not even a
Yeah.
worst case scenario; it's a guarantee. So it's like, why not just really do the damn thing, you know? And I think that there's so much with social media. It can feel so like, I don't want to have to post every day and all these things. And it's just like, yeah, well, I don't want to have to get up off this couch and go take a shit, but like, I'm going to feel like shit if I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, you don't have to post every day, or you don't have to post at all, but you probably are going to feel like not fully you're where you want to be at, because that's part of the game. Just like in the fucking 40s and the 30s and all these other time periods, people had to do shit that was uncomfortable. We've always had to do shit that was uncomfortable, or that's uncomfortable, in order to get our dreams and in order to get to where we want to get. So it's like, don't get too comfortable, keep shooting, and realize where you're just being a stubborn little bitch. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like, take it there.
Yeah. Stop holding yourself back from your dreams.
Come on.
That's what I think we can amount it to. But this has been another episode of the 6-5 show.
Yes, sir.
Zay Mustafa. Yep. Go grab the art.
Come on.
Go run it up. We got another, I don't know if this is week 7. We'll call it another 28 weeks in, what's the math? 29 weeks in counting?
30.
We got a lot of weeks. We got some weeks left.
Yeah.
30 weeks in counting. I can't do simple math.
Hey, you
anymore.
got it. You
I'm
got
letting
this.
myself go.
It's your birthday, man.
But yeah, keep pushing. Go stream the art.
Come on.
Go do what you got to do with whatever's in your art.
Yes.
And, keep it rocking.
Please.
Keep taking shots. I rock.
Swish.
This has been another episode. Yep. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace and love.
Bless up. Thank you, Ron.
Peace.